into car hire services too. You can hire our Sienna buses, you can hire our Hummer buses, you can also hire our ambulances. So we have all these types of vehicles in place. And I want to say here, what I mean by travel in comfort is that if you are traveling with our Sienna bus, for example, we don't take more than 5 passengers on our shuttle trips. But if you hire it, we allow you to take up to 6 passengers. In other words, 3 people can sit at the back, 2 at the center, and 1 in front. But if it is through our shuttle services, it's only 5.
We ensure we take off on time and also arrive on time, most especially for our airport passengers that would love to catch up with a flight to their various destinations. And also we provide comfort and relaxation. All our vehicles are fully air-conditioned vehicles.
RU Executive Transport, a transportation company ready to change the transportation narrative in Taraba State and Nigeria at large, bringing comfort, safety and reliability.
Welcome to the broadcast of news at 9 p.m. on Psalm TV, the pulse of the nation. You can also follow us on Facebook at Psalm TV and on YouTube at Psalm TV Live. Now the major headlines. On national news, Plateau killings, Jang urges dialogue with community leaders. Enough is enough. Tinubu demands permanent solutions to Plateau killings. Federal University Oye-Ekiti Vice Chancellor suspended over sexual harassment allegations after minister's intervention. Reps inaugurates committee to make law for rivers. Nigerians loot CBEC's office as Bonzi scheme fails. On international news, France expelled 12 Algerian officials as tension escalates. On entertainment news, 1 billion naira defamation suit filed by human rights lawyer Femi Falala and his son, rapper files against social media personality Martin Otse, popularly known as Very Dark Man. On sport news, Remo Stars held breath in NPFL title charge. My name is Bridget James. Now the news in full. Plateau killings, Jang urges dialogue with community leaders. Former Plateau State Governor and ex-Senator Jonah Jang has called on President Bola Tinubu to urgently convene a dialogue with community leaders to address the recent wave of killing in Plateau State, where over 100 lives were lost in a week, describing the attack as orchestrated by a known group with a hidden agenda. In a statement made available to newsmen on Tuesday, Jang condemned the violence, saying, "Let's call a spade a spade. These senseless killings have caused pain and suffering for our great state and its people, and we must take immediate actions to put an end to this violence." He urged an expanded meeting involving traditional rulers, religious leaders, and community representatives to help the president understand the crisis complexity. Jang criticized a presidential directive that labeled the violence a communal issue, arguing it stemmed from inaccurate briefings. He praised Governor Caleb Mufong's efforts and Tinubu's resolve, but stressed the need for accurate framing to ensure effective responses. Expressing solidarity with victims, Jang encouraged resilience, stating as peace-loving and welcoming citizens. We have endured enough. It is time for us to defend ourselves against these aggressors. He also reaffirms his commitment to the people, adding, as peace-loving and welcoming citizens, we have endured enough. It is time for us to defend ourselves against these aggressors. Enough is enough. Tinubu demands permanent solutions to plateau killing. The president of Nigeria condemned the recent violence in Plateau State, which resulted in the death of over 40 people, urging the state leadership to find lasting solutions to persistent communal conflicts. We cannot allow this devastating and the tide-for-tat attack to continue. Enough is enough, Tinubu said in a statement signed on Monday by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanugo. The statement is titled President Tinubu condemns latest attack in Plateau, charges Governor Mufwon to resolve underlying communal issues. Tinubu expressed profound sorrow over the bloodshed and extended his condolences to the Governor Caleb Mufwon, the state government and the people of Plateau. 7 years, the story of Lagos, 75-year-old ice cream seller. The ongoing violence between communities in Plateau State, rooted in misunderstanding between different ethnic and religious groups, must cease. Therefore, he called on the governor to demonstrate political resolve in addressing the underlying communal issues, foiling the violence and establishing enduring peace. Beyond dealing with a criminal element of this increasing killing, the political leadership in Plateau State, led by Governor Caleb Mufwon, these problems have been with us for more than 2 decades. We can no longer ignore the underlying issues. It's time to tackle them fairly and find lasting solutions. I've discussed these problems with the governor over time and offered suggestions for lasting peace, Tinubu asserted. He emphasized the importance of fostering unity and harmony across ethnic and religious lines. Tinubu also appealed to community, spiritual and political leaders, both within and outside Plateau State, to work together to halt the cycle of rationality attack devastating affected communities. He said, I have instructed security agencies to thoroughly investigate this crisis and identify those responsible for orchestrating these violent acts. President Tinubu reiterated the federal government's commitment to supporting the Plateau State government in fostering dialogue, social cohesion, and accountability, which are crucial steps towards permanently resolving the conflict. The federal government remains committed to supporting Governor Mufwon and the Plateau State government in promoting dialogue, fostering social cohesion and ensuring accountability. Crucial steps towards permanently resolving the conflict in Plateau State, he added. Allegations following the minister's intervention, Senator Ndume Egba convened an emergency online meeting of the Governing Council at the 2 p.m. on Monday, during which the council resolved to suspend Professor Fasina. The Vice-Chancellor of Federal University, Oye Ekiti, Professor Abayomi Sunday Fasina, has been suspended by the university's Governing Council following allegations of sexual harassment leveled against him by a senior university officials, Engineer Falasade Adebayo. A source told Sahara reporters on Monday that the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, expressed strong dissatisfactions with the initial recommendations of the Governing Council's committee, which allegedly ignored the sexual harassment claims and instead recommended that Adebayo apologize to the Vice-Chancellor. The minister was very angry with the decisions of council. The source said he was unhappy that the council tried to sweep the sexual harassment complaint under the carpet and rather told the complainant to apologize. He called the chairman of the governing council, Senator Victor Ndome Egba, to register his displeasure. According to the source, following the minister's intervention, Senator Ndome Egba convened an emergency online meeting of the governing council at 2 p.m. on Monday, during which the council resolved to suspend Professor Fasina. The source added that Fasina pleaded with the council to allow him to proceed on his accumulated leave instead of a direct suspension. Eventually, the council granted his request for a 6-month accrued leave. You know, as a vice-chancellor, if you wish to end your tenure early, especially within 6 months, to the end of your term, you are permitted to proceed on your accumulated leave, the source explained. Although Fasina's tenure is due to end of August, the council has now asked him to proceed on the leave effective immediately. In the interim, the governing council has appointed Professor Samuel Olubumi Shitu, a professor of soil science and the incumbent deputy vice-chancellor, as acting vice-chancellor for 6 months. This was confirmed in a press statement issued by the registrar and secretary to this council, Mufutau A. Ibrahim, and obtained by Sahara reporters. The statement reads, the governing councils of the Federal University Oye-Ekiti, at its 7th emergency meeting held online on Monday, 14th April 2025, considered the request of the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Abayomi Sunday Fasina, to proceed on his accumulated annual and research leave and approve 6 months, being 126 working days, out of his total entitlement of 228 days with effect from today. In addition, the governing council appointed Professor Olubumi Shitu, the incumbent deputy vice-chancellor academics, who is also the most senior of the 3, deputy vice-chancellor, as the acting vice-chancellor of the university for a period of 6 months with effect. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, on Tuesday inaugurated a 21-member ad hoc committee to oversee the administrations of Rivers State following the declarations of a state of emergency in the state by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony held at the National Assembly complex, Abbas clarified that the National Assembly's interventions was not a political vendetta, but a constitutional necessity aimed at safeguarding peace, order, and good governance in the state. The committee is chaired by the House Leader, Professor Julius Ihombere, with Ali Isa, PDP Gombe, as the deputy chairman. Others are Idris Wase, North Central, Aliu Mukhtar, North East, Soda Soli, North West, Iduma Igariwe, South East, and Shehu Rijau. Members also include Wale Oke Akara, Hai Amadi, Patrick Umo, Isa Aka, Ishaka Ibrahim, Abiodun Falake, Amos Daniel, Eria Take, Ibori Swanu, Blessing Unu, among others. The Speaker noted that the declarations of the 6-month state of emergency by the President on March 18, 2025 was based on Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Following the breakdown of public order and suspensions of the Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, and the State House of Assembly. According to him, the President's actions was taken out of genuine patriotism and a deep concern for the security and welfare of both the people of Rivers State and the Nigeria as a whole. The The Speaker recalled historical precedents, including similar declarations in Plateau, 2004, Ekiti, 2006, and the Northeast, 2013, where he said the National Assembly assumed legislative functions due to a state-level governance breakdown. He observed that the newly inaugurated committee derives its mandate from the Section 11.4 of the Constitution, empowering the National Assembly to legislate for a state whose legislature is unable to function. The Speaker noted that the sole administration Rear Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, retired, is to operate transparently and report to the National Assembly. The Speaker assured Nigerians that the House would not abdicate its responsibility to uphold democracy, adding that the committee's action will be subject to continuous scrutiny to ensure they align with the spirit and letter of the Constitution. He added, the sensitivity and gravity of this assignment cannot be overemphasized. The state of emergency in Rivers State has generated widespread interest across the nation, and the eyes of all Nigerians are upon us as they await to see if the National Assembly can live up to the high expectations placed upon it. Therefore, the task before this committee is not routine. It is a mission of national significance that will serve as a litmus test for our commitment to democratic principles and constitutional governance. The importance of the assignment places a considerable burden on the chairman and all members, as every action taken will be subject to national scrutiny. The members of this committee have been selected with meticulous care by the House leadership based on their integrity, experience, and steadfast dedications to the national interest. You have been entrusted with the heavy responsibility of justifying the confidence reposed in you by the entire nation. I charge you, therefore, to approach this assignment with the highest standard of professionalism, impartiality, and diligence. In fulfilling your mandate, you must conduct your oversight in strict accordance with the constitutions and avoid all forms of partisanship or bias. Moreover, it is expected that you would regularly report your findings to this House in a transparent manner, enabling us to continuously assess the impact of the emergency measures and to take further legislative actions if necessary. You are called upon to interface with federal agency security institutions and any reconciliation initiative that may be established, fostering trust among all stakeholders in the process, the Speaker says. Many Nigerians are in shock, disbelief, and tears after another Ponzi scheme named CBEX crashed early this week. Weeks ago, many who invested in the scheme advertised their newly found pathway to financial freedom on social media with screenshots of account balance from $1,000 to $10,000 and $85,000. As of Tuesday morning, the account have been blanked with no access of funds except to comply with a new directive to deposit more funds to withdraw from their accounts. The reality is harsh in disbelief and tears. The small amount I made in Libya was invested in it. I was made to believe I would make twice that amount from the scheme, a lady named Bararinwo said, sobbing uncontrollably. The Libya returnee disclosed that a large part of her deposit in CBEX was a loan from friends who are expectant of a refund. The locations where Bararinwo spoke is one of the offices of the CBEX in the Oke-Ado area of Ibadan, Oyo State, southwest Nigeria, which is being looted by an angry mob. A trending video on social media showed people carting away furniture and other items from the office after officials failed to speak with CBEC officials. They said we should still wait so that they can attend to us, Barin was said amidst tears. Another victim of the scheme on X said they invested in CBEC, all in the name of making enough money to push my unreal song, Alhamdulillah. The singer said he woke up today and discovered that all my $400,000 is gone. Recently, Nigerian Securities and Exchange Commissions warned Nigerians against depositing funds with fraudulent and unauthorized digital platform for unrealistic return. Director General of SEC, Dr. Emotimi Agama, said the warning was to protect Nigerians from falling prey to fraudulent scheme. We welcome innovations, but it must occur within a regulated environment that protects investors and maintain the integrity of our market, Agama said. Hope for CBEC investors amidst lamentations. CBEC administrator Tuesday afternoon investor can still withdraw their funds if they follow a procedure that will see them invest more in the same scheme. A video on CBEC's community explained the procedure in Pidgin English. If you have below $8,000 in your CBEC account, you have to pay $100 to withdraw your money. If you have above $8,000, then you would have to pay $200 to withdraw it, a male voice said in the video. Meanwhile, members of the committee warned other users that the procedure was a new twist in the scam. He wondered why the administrators will require new deposit of at least $100 to withdraw from the initial balance. If you follow the new scam with the hope of getting your investments, don't be surprised that they would come up with a new idea to milk you further without you achieving your aim, he said. Accept your loss and move on. CBEC is gone. It has crashed, and there's nothing you can do about it. The People's Democratic Party Ondo State Chapter has urged President Bola Tinubu to consider declaring a state of emergency in the state over the killings of spree of farmers and residents of the state by armed nomads. PDP emphasized if the crude and unwanted killing are not coped, particularly with what is described as incapacitations on the part of the state government in tackling the growing menace, the ugly trend might spiral into the entire Southwest. According to the opposition party, Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has failed in his primary constitutional responsibility in securing and protecting the lives of the people. In the past weeks, the state had faced attack by armed herders, particularly in the farming belt of the Akure North local government area of the state, with several farmers killed, which had also been followed by a series of protests in the state, where the bodies of the slain farmers were also displayed at the state secretariat. The party, in a statement by the Director of Media and Publicity of the party, Leya, expressed as worrisome the attitude of the governor, particularly his alleged decision to turn blind eyes to the activities of the herders. Helplessly and hopelessly, as well as compromise on the part of the state, he said. The party Ondo chapter, alarmed by the careless killings of helpless residents of the state, whose main offense is that they lawfully engage in their daily activities needed to bring food to their tables. The party cannot, in all honesty, find reasons why such assailants could operate without any form of resistance for months. Governor Ayedatiwa has indeed failed in his constitutional duty as enriched in Section 14 of Section 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, in that he can no longer secure and protect the lives and property of citizens of Ondo State. The kind intentions of Mr. President under the prevailing circumstances is to prepare him to consider the declarations of a state of emergency on insecurity in Ondo State if the state governments continue to demonstrate lack of capability. The opposition party further described as heart-wrenching that in less than 1 month, about 50 persons were gruesomely massacred in various settlements within the state, adding that no arrest for prosecutions has been made. We're going on a commercial break. Please stay tuned. We'll be back with more information on Psalm TV.
Are you ready to advance your career in health and management? Higher Ground College of Health and Management Sciences invites ambitious students to pursue excellence in dynamic learning environments. Why choose us? Our institution offers a transformative educational experience, combining education excellence and practical skills. We provide a cutting-edge curriculum with hands-on training, mentorship from industry professionals, networking opportunities for career growth, and leadership development for global impact. The programs offered include BSc, Medical Laboratory Science, Nursing Science, Environmental Health Science, Public Health, Community Health, and Health Economy. We also offer HND in Public Nursing. Our facilities: modern computer and medical labs, research centers and digital libraries, and interactive learning spaces and study zones. Who can apply? Aspiring professionals in health and management can apply. Working individuals seeking career advancement can also apply. International students looking for a global learning environment are also key applicants. Application requirements are 5 SSC credits, including English and Mathematics, JAM and entrance exam scores, medical report, birth certificate, local government industry letter, recommendation letters. Why Higher Ground? We offer work-study programs, flexible payment, and a supportive academic environment. Apply today. Visit www.highergroundcollege.edu or our campuses at Lab opposite VCK Jalingo, Taraba State, and opposite Army Barracks, Tako, Taraba State. Take the first step towards a brighter future. Choose Higher Ground College. Are you ready to advance your career in health and management? Higher Ground College of Health and Management Sciences invites ambitious students to pursue excellence in dynamic learning.
Escape the everyday at DY Scott, a luxurious haven for your hair, nails, and overall well-being. Imagine yourself settling into a plush armchair, the aroma of essential oils and freshly brewed coffee filling the air. Expert stylists meticulously craft your perfect look, whether you're seeking a bold modern style or a classic timeless cut. Beyond the perfect haircut, indulge in a revitalizing manicure or pedicure. Our skilled technicians use only the finest ethically sourced products, ensuring a truly pampering experience for your skin and the planet. Enjoy a refreshing drink, a mojito, chamomile tea, or something bubbly while you unwind in our relaxing atmosphere. Looking to socialize? Challenge friends to a game of table tennis or snooker in our convivial relaxation area. Reconnect with yourself and leave feeling confident, truly pampered and beautifully you. DY Scott is more than just a salon. It's an experience that nourishes your mind, body and soul. Find us at Roadblock Jalingo, Konaru, or call 081-4563-6195 to book your appointment today. DY Scott, where style meets serenity. Escape the everyday at DY Scott, a luxurious haven for your hair, nails, and overall well-being. Imagine yourself settling into a plush armchair, the aroma of essential oils and freshly brewed coffee filling the air. Expert stylists meticulously craft your perfect look, whether you're seeking a bold modern style or a classic timeless cut. Beyond the perfect haircut, indulge in a revitalizing manicure or pedicure. Our skilled technicians use only the finest ethically sourced products, ensuring a truly pampering experience for your skin and the planet.
Welcome back. Coming up next are the international and business news. On international news, France expelled 12 Algerian officials as tension escalates. France says it will expel 12 Algerian diplomatics and consular staff members and has recalled its ambassador from Algeria, deepening a crisis that threatens the unravelment of attempted reconciliation between the two countries. The announcement on Tuesday comes a day after Algeria ordered 12 French diplomats to leave within 48 hours. Algiers announced the explosions after French prosecutors indicated 3 Algerian nationals, including a consular officials, over the alleged kidnappings of a prominent government critic in Paris last year. The activist Amir Bokhor, better known to his more than 1 million TikTok followers as Amir Dizer, was granted asylum in France in 2023. He was abducted in a Paris suburb in April last year and released the next day. French authorities said the 3 suspects are also facing charges of terrorist conspiracy. Strained relations. It is the first time France has detained an employee of the Algerian consulate, marking a sharp escalation in tensions between Paris and the former French colony. French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot said on Monday that the expulsions were directly linked to the arrest. The French Ministry for Europe and Foreign Affairs noted that Algeria's move, if carried out, will mark the first expulsions of French diplomats from the country since its independence in 1962. Algeria, which has issued 9 international arrest warrants for Bokhor on charges including fraud and terrorism, in demanding his extradition. The escalation comes despite recent overture between the two countries. Just a week earlier, Barrot met with Algerian President Abdelmadjid Tebboune and declared bilateral relations and returned to normal after a period of simmering tensions. French President Emmanuel Macron's backing of Morocco's autonomy plans for the disputed regions of Western Sahara last year sparked outrage in Algiers. The jailing of French-Algerian writer Boulim Sansal by an Algerian court last month only added to the strength, with Macron's calling for his release. On to entertainment news. 1 billion defamation suit filed by human rights lawyer Femi Falala and his son, rapper, files against social media personality Martin Ose, popularly known as Very Dark Man. A federal high court in Abuja has struck out a 1 billion defamation suit filed by human rights lawyer Femi Falala and his son, rapper Falz, against social media personality Martin Ose, popularly known as Very Dark Man. The lawsuit stemmed from a video posted by Very Dark Man, which Falala and Falz claim was defamatory. The video alleged damaged their reputations and caused them harm. However, the court ruled that plaintiff failed to provide sufficient evidence to support their claims. The court decisions to strike out the suit has generated mixed reactions. While some have expressed disappointment with the ruling, others have held it as a victory of free speech. The public response to the court's decisions has been varied. Some have taken to social media to express their views on the matter. The implications of the rulings are significant, and it will be interesting to see how this affects future defamation cases. We'll continue to monitor this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. The court's decisions to strike out Falala and Falz defamation suit against Very Dark Man is a significant development. On to sport news. As the 2024-2025 Nigeria Premier Football League season edges closer to its finale, there remains an air of uncertainty around almost every end of the table, and the battle lines are drawn across multiple fronts. From the frantic chase for continental qualifications to the desperate fight against regulations, the league continues to offer suspense and unpredictability. Punch Sport Extra report. Remo Stars currently lead the table, having amassed 62 points from 33 matches, and they remain the strongest contenders for a maiden NPFL title. Their consistency, especially at home, has been the foundations of their campaign, with the Sky Blue Stars being one of 3 teams yet to lose a home game with this season, boasting 15 wins and 2 draws in Ikene. That total of 47 home points is unmatched. However, their away form remains a worry, just like every other team in the league. They have picked up only 15 points from a possible 48 on the road, and this disparity leaves them vulnerable, especially with Rivers United not far behind on 55 points, and Finidi Judgments posting a slightly superior away record with a league-high 16 points on the road. Remo's lead has not come without scrutiny, especially after back-to-back draws against relegation struggler Labi Star and Castina United that cost them 4 points. But head coach Daniel Ogunadidi remains unfazed by the pressure. This belief in his squad's resilience and the long-term plans they are executing is evident in his measures, reflecting after that result. We are still on top of the table. We have 15 more points to fight for, he said. This is football. It's not drought. It's not like other sports. Some days are like this. We are prepared. Personally, as a coach, I am prepared, and I know days like this will always come. Ogunadede has always maintained that the title will not be won or lost in the single match. Rather, it will be determined by mentality and disciplines across the stretch. Are we still capable of winning the league? Think the answer is yes. Are we comfortable on the table? The answer is yes. He asserted, yet he knows that complacency is dangerous, and his focus is on extracting maximum points from the remaining fixtures and treating every opponent with the same seriousness. That message will be tested once again in the next match against Shooting Stars in Ibadan, but Ogun Modide has no intentions of deviating from the formula that brought them this far. We approach every game with the same mentality to get the maximum 3 points. This is what is most important for us, he said. He also had words for the critics, many of whom have questioned the team's recent displays. People underrate the performance of these boys. They should be commended for them to have walked up to this time. They deserve more commendations than what people just think about them when things are not going well. Mid-season that saw them winning only 1 in 8 games, and coach Finidi George is determined to correct the vulnerabilities they were exposed to. That goal from them opens the game up. I was not expecting that from that distance. They control the game a little bit more when you are playing at home and concede 2 goals. I think the match is over, he conceded. That details he believes will prove decisive. We are playing at home next, so we are going to win at home. He said confidently, this is a critical time where you don't take things for granted. We are playing against Sunshine. I know we are going to win. He knows that his side must keep their focus regardless of what results come in elsewhere. Unless other teams go away and win, we just have to focus on our home game, he said. The third and final continental slot, which guarantees a place in the CAF Confederations Cup, remains hotly contested. After defeating Rivers, Abia Warriors sit in 3rd place with 53 points and are being closely pursued. "42 goals in 17 matches, averaging nearly 2.5. 11 goals on the road. They're vulnerably outside Lagos. Keeps them in the hunt." That's all for this edition of News at 9 p.m. from Som TV. Before we go, here is a recap of the major headlines. Plateau killings, Jang urges dialogue with community leaders. Enough is enough. Tinubu demands permanent solutions to Plateau killing. Federal University Oye Ekli Vice Chancellor suspended over sexual harassment allegations after minister's intervention. Reps inaugurate committee to make laws for Rivers. In tears, Nigerians loot CBEX offices Ponzi scheme fails. On international news, France expelled 12 Algerian officials as tension escalates. On entertainment news, 1 billion defamation lawsuit filed by human rights lawyer Femi Falala and his son, rapper Faust, against social media personality Martin Osei, popularly known as Very Dark Man. On sport news, Remo Stars hold breath in NPFL title charge.